So, hello. I'm so glad that you took the time to talk with me today about OCD. If you deal with OCD, first of all, you're not alone, and there's many people that deal with it. I know because I was one of them, and I meet many people. The more and more that you struggle with it, and the more and more that you conquer it, and the longer that time goes by, and you conquer it, you start knowing what made you conquer it and you start recognizing it in other people. Not that I could just go and diagnose everybody with OCD, but I can say I can kind of spot it because of my own experience. I'll give you an example of something I used to do when I was a little kid. I used to count steps, and it's just because I was dealing with trauma. I was just trying to figure out coping mechanism when I was little, and I lost that really quickly because as a little girl, I remember hearing the words. I don't want to cry here, but I'll remember it so vividly. I heard the words, changed the count, and then I literally changed the count. And from that day forward, I had that tool in my tool belt. I knew I could change the count whenever I wanted, and that it was up to me. And so I just want to share that with you. And I just want to tell you that you're not alone if you do any of these things to cope with trauma and try to change the outcome by facing something a certain way. Anyways, there's 5 questions that I would like you to ask yourself if you are serious about quitting OCD. And it's something that has to be quit. You have to replace it with the attitude of, I'm not doing this anymore. And you have to figure out how, but you're not alone. There are people out there that struggle with the same thing as you. Just, I know it's fear based. That's one thing I figured out. It's fear based. Um, and you can measure your success throughout your journey of healing from this. And you'll notice that as you walk along the path of healing, you'll notice when things don't hurt you the way they did, you don't react the way you did, it doesn't scare you anymore because you know that feeling that you go through of electricity that goes through your body. You know the feeling of angst when you're getting triggered. You know what happens, and you know when that doesn't happen because you can feel peace when it doesn't happen. So there's 5 questions that I would like to talk about today. So do you want this to continue though? Do you want to continue having this OCD? Is it helping you? These are not the questions, by the way. It's simple. Why do we continue with this? And how do we make it stop? Well, first step is first admitting it, and I think you've heard me say that before, that was the first step that I took, is I admitted that I had a problem. So on this channel, I plan to further go into my healing journey and what it took to get even here. It's a miracle that I'm standing here trying to tell you about this because I tried to hide it my whole life. So now I'm shouting from a mountaintop. I'm just not going to let this be held over my head anymore. So the 5 questions: who? Who does this affect? It affects everybody around you. It affects your family. It affects your kids. It affects your spouse, your cousins, anyone you are hanging around. They're having to put up with this way that you react to stuff. They're having to put up with how you deal with something when you get triggered. They have to tiptoe around you. They have to hope that they don't upset you at any given moment. So that's who it affects. And it affects you. It affects your success as a person. It affects your ability to walk through life in peace. And I don't want it to affect you anymore. I want you to heal from this because you really can have peace. And it's amazing. It's amazing when you finally learn that you don't have to deal with trauma this way. I understand coping and why one would do it, but I don't understand why one would keep doing it if they know they can get out. The beginning of stages of trauma, sure, but at some point you have to face it so that you can heal. You have to get up and do your daily things. You have to be in people's lives, and they're in your lives. And and this goes to everybody that deals with OCD. It's affecting everybody around you. So so don't let it. Let today be the day that you just say no. Say no to OCD. I know it's a long journey, but don't just take it one step at a time. I'm hoping that today will be one step that you take towards evaluating, am I doing that? Do I have OCD, and am I dealing with it this way where I just enable it and make others enable it? Question number 2, what? What good does OCD do? Just please tell me. If you know of a good thing that this does, tell me. I need to know, because I can't think of one good thing it did for me other than make me react the way that I did to silly things. Like, I'll give you an example. Covering the couches. I used to cover my couches so that no germs from the outside world would get on my couch when I got home from work. I mean, germs don't work that way, and it just didn't work. It later on learning, okay, knowledge helps you to know. When you know that germs don't even work that way, that's when you can stop in your tracks and go, wait a second, I have knowledge over this, and that's a lie that I'm hearing. So what lie are you being told? What good does it do to be triggered and then get into the flight or fight response constantly over little things? What good does that do you? What good does it not do you? That's my question too, because when you're in that type of response, it's taking up a lot of your time. It's making you waste time on silly things. When you have real life to go do, you have real bills to go pay, you have real things to go deal with, a real job to go do, um, and real relationships to actually nurture. And this is not nurturing a relationship. Going back to who, it's not it's not helping your relationship with the people around you. You're not nurturing them. It's selfish. And that's the sad part. So we've gone over who and what. Now, where? At any given place, this can happen. If you get triggered, that's it. It happens anywhere you go. And before you know it, you're having electricity go through your body with the cortisol shooting through your body because you have a fear thing that happened and you got triggered. Man, it can happen anywhere, and it is such an inconvenience because it's not easy to hide. I mean, you can hide it some of the time, but if it happens at the wrong place, it's not easy to hide. And if you're in a position like you're at work and you get triggered, that's not going to be good. That's not going to be good. And don't even think for a second that if you're at home and your kids are seeing you do this too, they're going to pick up on those behaviors. I had a little Yorkie. I had him for like 15 years. I lost him a couple years ago. And I want you to know that dog was my baby before I had my 3 babies. And man, I he was with me when I had the OCD from right when he was 2 months old all the way till 15 years. And he was with me through my healing of it. But obviously dogs pick up on our behaviors. I saw some of the behaviors that he picked up. I know they were from me. And the main one I would name it is second guessing. He would look at a little kibble and then he would look away and then go back to it, and he would second guess whether he wanted it or not. It was so crazy watching him have the same type of demeanor that I kind of had. So that was one of my first like little foreshadows that, okay, this is not good. I'm watching my dog. He kind of acts like me. Okay, so for years I kept healing, and the more I would heal, the more I would look back at little Joey and how he would do that. And I'm telling you, it was crazy. He picked up on my behaviors. He did. So we've gone over who. Who does it affect? What good does it do? What good does it not do? Where? It can happen anywhere. And believe me, it's affecting those other 2 things we just mentioned when wherever you are. It doesn't matter. And why? It's happening because you're dealing with trauma. You're dealing with something that's undealt with. You're dealing with fear. I really believe that it's fear based. So it's like you need to ask yourself, what lie am I believing that's causing me to act like this? So why are you choosing OCD over actually facing the giant? And the reason is it's because of fear. And it's time to stop fearing. One time I was like watching a show, and it was a doctor show, and I just don't even know if we're allowed to mention the name of the show on here, so I'm just gonna say I was watching a doctor show, and it was so hard to watch, and it was even a funny show, and this was in the beginning of my healing, and it seems like, wow, that's what helps start your healing. It really is. It was one of the first things that actually started my healing. Is the things that were causing triggers, I was purposely triggering myself, and watching some gruesome surgeries and stuff like that, and the type of content that was in there. And I'm telling you what, little by little, I was noticing, oh, wait, I'm still alive. I'm still fine. I'm okay. So I couldn't believe it. And the more and more that I watched it, I desensitized myself from that trigger that was happening. I almost think it's similar to when you have kids go to a school, and or they learn something from their friends, and they're out and about doing something, they watch a scary movie, which I think is like horrible. They watch so many scary movies that they desensitize themselves from it, that they're not even like righteously afraid when they see something that they should maybe have a fight or flight response, because they've desensitized themselves with their tablet. So um, I really think that that's the same tool that I use, that I feel like God gave me when I was a little girl, and that was change the count. And so, in other words, play opposites. I mean, if you're afraid, all of a sudden, I'm not saying don't go be invincible everywhere you go. Take baby steps, because yes, I've taken baby steps. It can wear you out doing this healing, because the more and more that you're doing it, you get excited about it, but it's hard because it just wears you out mentally. It mentally drains you at first. But if you keep going, which I want to tell you to please do, keep going. There is a light at the end of the tunnel. You will feel that sense of relief. You will, I'm telling you right now, this is years now that I've been dealing with this. And the healing that I have done, I have measured it. And I talked about that in the beginning of this video, that there's a measurement for it. You can see the measurement for it. This video alone, me talking about it and exposing it out loud, these different things about my personal life, is me measuring it out loud. And I don't feel that angst that I would feel to do this. So I'm so excited. I'm excited for whatever journey you're on, and with how far you are in your journey about healing from this, or even starting the healing, or maybe you clicked on this video and you didn't even know you had OCD, and now you do know. And please don't self-diagnose yourself. But no, if you deal with anything that I described, like reacting in ways that you think that are kind of just not normal, and you wish you could be more calm when something happens, and you don't freak out and just like, or there's trauma, if you know it's there and you didn't deal with it, I'm telling you, I just feel like there's no shortcut. I feel like you do need to deal with it, and I'm going to be praying for you. um, I can't even cover in one video the different types that I dealt with. But I'm trying to start that journey with you now. I'm just not very versed in knowing how to make these videos. So I'm just doing the best that I can to get on here and put it in bite-sized chunks. Maybe I can make the next video focusing on how I healed from one particular thing. That's what I'm thinking, is maybe each one can lead into the next, so that you can understand, oh, so that healing led to that healing, led to that healing. And maybe I can put them in bite-sized chunks. Um, but I seriously want you to heal. And I want you to be able to shout from the rooftops as well, and help somebody that deals with this. So thank you so much for taking the time to listen to this. I really don't even want to I don't want to waste anyone's time. I want you to know that I'm praying for you. I truly am. I want to say this one thing. I told Yahweh, um, I told him, like, I want to say in 2017, I think is when I started healing from this for real, for real, for real. And I said, please take this from me. I do not want to deal with this anymore. And I admitted it out loud to him and said, please heal me from this. And if you do, I promise I'm going to try to help anybody I can to never have the prison thinking that I have right now. I don't want to do this anymore. And that's the beginning of my journey that I want to tell you about. That is just the beginning. I have more to share, but I want to start here and I want to tell you, you can heal from this and you'll know you're healed because that thing won't happen inside of you that you know without me explaining it to you. If you deal with it, you know what I'm talking about. So 5 things that I want you to ask yourself. Who's it affecting? What is it for? Why are you doing it? Where is it happening? Why? And how can you make it stop? You know what I mean? How? The first step is admitting that you have a problem. And I just want to say thank you for taking the time to listen to this, and I'm praying for you. If you do deal with this, and if there's a way that I can pray for you, please tell me. Tell me in the comments. I will pray for you. I promise you that. So, I don't know how else to end this, but to say that I'm praying for you. And if you would like to know more of my journey, let me know. Because I would like to share it. I would like to help somebody, anybody that I can, so that they don't deal with that prison thinking. God bless you.